So from this video we are going to discuss about the glycogen metabolism. So before actually starting the glycogen metabolism, I want to say something about the glycogen. So glycogen is storage form of the glucose in animals, and in the plants the storage form of glucose is starch. So the 6 to 8% of the glycogen is stored in liver, whereas 1 to 2% of the glycogen is stored in muscles. The glycogen metabolism mainly occurs in the cytosol. So what is the main function of the glycogen then? The main function of the glycogen is to maintain the blood glucose level even in the fasting state. So if there is no any intake of the carbohydrate like in fasting stage, the blood glucose level is maintained by the glycogen as it is found in the storage form in liver. So the glycogen storage of liver is directly proportional to the feeding. So the more we eat, the more glycogen is stored in the liver. So I want to point out the glycogen is stored as the fuel reserve because there are some positive advantage of the glycogen metabolism. So if we look carefully, there are two main things that gives energy to our body. One is carbohydrate and another is fat. So one might say that the fat produces more energy than carbohydrate. Then why body do not utilize the fat to generate more energy? Instead, why does it utilize the carbohydrate such as glycogen in the reserve phase? So the answer is the glycogen can be rapidly metabolized, but the fat is metabolized slowly. So one might think that the substance which can be rapidly metabolized and rapidly converted to energy, so that substance will be metabolized faster and that substance will be used. And the glycogen can generate energy even in the absence of the oxygen, but fat need oxygen for the energy production and can't produce the glucose. So in the absence of the oxygen, the fat cannot generate the energy, whereas the glycogen can generate energy even in the absence of the oxygen. And the continuous glucose supply in the brain comes from the glycogen. So these are the main parts, main importance of the glycogen that you should know. And in the following topic, in the following videos, we are going to discuss about two main metabolism of the glycogen. One is glycogenesis and another is glycogenolysis. So as you can see, the glycogenesis is the synthesis of glycogen from the glucose, whereas the glycogenolysis is synthesis of glucose from the glycogen. So the glycogenesis is the synthesis of the glycogen from the glucose, but when there is breakdown of the glucose to form the glycogen, then it is known as the glycogenolysis. So in the further video, I will discuss detail about glycogenesis and glycogenolysis. And also I will discuss about the various glycogen storage disorders that you should know. Type 1 and type 2, type 3, type 4, other various types of glycogen storage disorder. So in this video we talked about brief introduction of the glycogen and why glycogen is stored as the fuel reserve we discussed, and in the further video we'll talk about the glycogenesis and glycogenolysis. I hope you understood this lecture, glycogen metabolism and introduction. Thank you.